Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be testing the Canon 6D full frame camera in ultra low light situation. It's currently completely pitch black outside, only with two tungsten lights for lighting, and this is an extreme test for ISO. I already know this performs extremely well, and the center point can focus very well in low light. Canon claims it can focus in moonlit situations, and that's very dark. I would say this lighting is about equivalent to a moonlit night, maybe a tiny bit more. So we can see how it performs at higher ISOs in real life scenarios, not just lab tests, and how well the center point can focus in ultra low light. Okay, so as you can see, my 550D that I'm filming with can barely see in this light, and this is ISO 6400 and it's extremely noisy. So this is going to be a really extreme test for the Canon 6D. This is a much better camera, full frame, so it should be able to perform a lot better. So let's just see. You can barely see, but right there I'm going to be taking a photo of a coloured windmill, like one you just stick in the ground. And we can just see how it performs. So let's get shooting. So first we're going to test if it can even focus. I'm going to be using the center point, which Canon say can focus in moonlit nights, and I would say this lighting is about as equivalent as a moonlit night, so let's see how well it performs. Okay, so that's about a second, like less than a second to focus, which is incredible, as I know that camera won't even focus. So let's take a few shots. Okay. Well, so far it's coming out very well. Let's turn it up to 12,800. And now I'm going to let the camera choose the shutter speed for me. That time it struggled a little bit. Now we're going to push it up even further to 16,000. And now to 25,600. Okay, so we've got them shots, and so the autofocus works very well, and I'm quite impressed actually. So let's put these into the computer and see what they're like. Okay, so we got them loaded up on the computer here, and this is ISO 12,800. And to be honest, the image quality is very good for this kind of ISO. There is no way you'd be able to shoot at this kind of level of high ISO on the older cameras such as the 550D and generally crop sensor cameras. So I'm very impressed, obviously coming from one of them cameras. Very clean and usable image, really not that much noise at all. And now we move on to ISO 16,000, and again that is a ridiculous number to be shooting at, and I am absolutely blown away at the image quality. ISO 16,000 and it's actually usable. We've got a close up here. Again, you can see there's barely any noise. There's a slight bit of motion blur because the shutter speed was low, and it wasn't on a tripod unfortunately, which would have made this test a little bit better. But this is simply just to show off how well the 6D performs in low lights. Now, I knew it performed well, but obviously until you see it in person, you realise how well it performs. Now, this is ISO 25,600. Now, the fact that that's a native ISO in this camera really says everything. The fact that it's not even unlocked in the menu is just absolutely incredible. Again, I personally would say this image is usable. Really not that much decrease in contrast, barely any noise creeping up. Now on YouTube or Facebook, wherever I may post this, you're not going to see these images like I can, but I can tell you the quality is amazing. Now I've done a few other images to show you. These are low ISO, so not really going to see much in this. Now move on to 4,000, a bit of noise starts to creep in. Really not that bad, perfectly usable. Now ISO 8000, a lot of noise starts to creep in, we get more a greenish tint. 25,000, obviously the image is falling apart, and a lot of noise. But really, these are just JPEGs, no raw files, and I think it's performed absolutely brilliantly. I hope this helps someone, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this